Saqib Mahmood, thank you very much for joining us on talkSPORT. We're going to do something a little bit different with you today. We spoke to you just the other day before the second T20. We know you're a big Liverpool fan, so we're going to do a bit of a Liverpool quiz. A few quiz questions about your own kind of supporting of Liverpool. And I want to start there. So, Manchester lad, or born around the Manchester way.
Birmingham.
Birmingham. So, yeah. Hey, Google has lied to me there in many different ways. So you went to school in Rochdale?
Yeah, but I was born in Birmingham. Yeah.
To be fair, Wikipedia did say that. I was trying to piece it all together. Okay, Birmingham lad.
Yeah.
How does the Liverpool supporting come about?
So my dad was a Liverpool fan, and he obviously took me to my first Liverpool game and took me to Liverpool games when I was a kid, and I think that's where the love of Liverpool came. So whenever anyone comes at me and says, "Oh, you're born in Birmingham or you live in Manchester, why Liverpool?" So, that's the answer I give them pretty much every time.
And what was that first match he took
It was a Legends game. So I remember I didn't know any of the players. I was like, when's Gerrard coming on? Obviously he wasn't even playing in it. But I think just the whole event, because then you wanted to go back again and be around it. So yeah, it was a Legends game.
And then in terms of the last few years, seen kind of on the socials you've been at Anfield quite a lot. Do you have a favourite match you've been to in recent times?
I think my favourite ever game, and it'll take some topping, was the Barcelona 4-0. I went with two of my brothers, and unbelievable night. One of my brothers wasn't going to go that night, and because we were obviously 3-0 down, he's like, whatever, and it sort of dragged him along, and yeah, if he hadn't gone, he'd have been wounded.
What a treat. Right, we're going to fire some quiz questions at you. I think I've tried to gauge them. Now, they're not too difficult, not too easy. We're going to start with, play along at home as everyone. Matt, the ECB manager's over my right shoulder, might play along as well. Top 5 Premier League Liverpool goal scorers, so only starting from 1990. We know obviously football didn't exist before then. So if you can reel them off from top to bottom, where are you going?
Salah.
Yep.
Fowler.
Yep, 1 and 2.
Gerrard.
Yep. Legend. Then moved off somewhere else as a bit of a rival. Scored an unbelievable goal against Argentina in the World Cup, 1998. There's
Michael Owen.
Yes, Michael Owen. Got 4 from 4 here, in order as well. And the last one. You said his great mate was answer number 1.
His great mate was what?
Answer number 1.
Who's number 1?
Salah.
What?
If you think of Mo Salah, who do you think of next?
Sadio Mane.
Perfect. 5 from 5.
I didn't want to mess any up. That's what I was thinking. Instead of just reeling names off.
That's perfect. No, right. I'm going to give you a choice here. I've written down the 11s from the 2005 Champions League final and the 2019 Champions League final. We can go through one. I'm going to ask you to name one of the 11s. You can have a choice. Which one would you prefer to do?
I can do both if you want.
Do both. Let's do 2005 because I prefer that one. Perfect. 2005 Champions League final 11.
So Dudek.
Yep.
Finnan.
Yep.
Hippier.
Yep.
Carragher. Jimmy Traore.
Correct.
Midfield Alonso, Gerrard. Luis Garcia.
We're flying, yeah.
John Arne-Risa on the left.
Correct.
With Kuhl and Barash up front.
Brilliant. Now for bonus points, who are the 3 subs that came on?
Vladimir Smica came on because he scored that goal.
Correct.
Cisse.
Yep, QPR legend.
And the third one...
Scored the first penalty.
Oh, who scored the first penalty? This is going to annoy me.
It will. You'll know this 100%.
2005.
German midfielder.
Oh, Hamann.
Perfect. And bonus point. I'd forgotten this. Who was the sub goalkeeper? Who was the keeper on the bench?
Chris Kirkland.
No, Scott Carson. He's everywhere.
Wow, he's at City at the moment.
Correct. Right. I'm going to be honest, Saqib. I've made the questions a bit too easy from you because you've got 20 marks out of 20. Last one, for 21 out of 21, how many league titles in history have Liverpool won?
18.
Incorrect.
19.
19.
Well,
I think we share an opinion there because COVID doesn't really count.
No,
so it's fine.
We pretty much won the league before COVID even.
I've always been really sad about that because I was desperate for Liverpool or just someone other than City to win. And then you guys lift the trophy, Henderson in the Kop, it's empty. And it was like...
Yeah, I remember we
right.
were in Southampton, me and Mo and Ali, big Liverpool fans, and obviously we won the league, and we just sort of sat in our hotel room, like couldn't do anything, couldn't leave. It was like
Did you get to the final in Paris in 2019?
no, Paris was 2022, so
Beg
me
your pardon.
and Moeen went. Yeah, we were. Courtois had the game of his life, didn't he? So yeah, so I went to that game, and then the game before we were at Liverpool versus Wolves, when at one point we were winning the league when City were losing against Villa. And then obviously City scored 3 goals in 5 minutes. And I remember that drive home, I was like, how the hell do you concede 3 goals in 5 minutes? And then a week later we go to Paris and lose there. So yeah, not my greatest week.
I'm sorry to have brought it up, I feel bad now.
No,
anyway, you know what, to cheer you up, we're going to talk a tiny bit about cricket.
I was quite happy with Liverpool too.
I know, so was I, to be honest, but apparently it's talkSPORT cricket and we're playing in an England tour or something like that. I don't really get it myself. I know you've answered this question before, but I think it's something you speak on really well. You signed a white ball only contract with Lancashire in the last however many months. Can you just explain a little bit about that decision?
Yeah, look, obviously, for me, the last couple of years I've played, not much red ball cricket because of my back, and for me, with this contract, it doesn't mean I can't play red ball cricket. I think when obviously it got announced, everyone just thought, white ball cricket is done. He's just going to go off and play all the leagues, etc. But, that isn't the case. I still want to play red ball cricket. I still want to play test cricket. But for me, it's just with this contract, it means, if my body's not, if I don't feel ready with my body, or I'm nervous about my body, I don't have to play red ball cricket. And I'm not being paid to do that. So it just means I'm not getting money off the club to play something which I don't feel too confident about. Whereas if I am playing red ball cricket, it means I'm playing because I want to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, to kind of summarise it, I'd say that's what that was the reason for this contract. Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting actually, where I think in the modern day, if a player signs a white ball only contract, the kind of instant response from the public and probably from the media as well is like, oh, they just want to go and play white ball franchise cricket, chasing cash. But actually, it's the exact opposite. What you've done, you've gone Lancashire. My boyhood club, I feel very loyal to them and I don't want to take money off them for something I'm not doing. Was there any frustration from your part where there was potentially an initial reaction where it was like, oh, Saqib Mahmood doesn't want to play red ball cricket, doesn't care about Lancashire anymore, whereas actually the opposite was the case?
I think there was, because obviously it's your home fans, and I've brought my back 2 years in a row playing for the club and putting myself out there, so I hope there was empathy from that side. And even this year I tried to turn out as much as I could, and even at the back end I was trying to get myself ready to play in the Champo games at the back end of the season, and in the end I got called up to the ODI squad, so I couldn't play. But yeah, for me I feel like I'm almost forced into this decision a little bit because of how my body's been the last couple of years. If I was fully fit, you wouldn't have seen a white ball contract. You wouldn't have seen me sign a white ball contract, that's for sure. So that's as much as I can give of why it's happened from my side. So yeah, I hope if those guys do see this, they have a different view and can understand my decision a little bit more.
And just having heard you speak kind of on and off camera about your attention to detail and preparation, something I found really interesting is the work you've done with Chris Jordan. Can you just explain a little bit about like how you met up with him ahead of the series, and what were you guys working on? Why did you want to work with him so much?
Yeah, so I decided to fly out 10 days early before everyone else got here, so I flew to Barbados, and I called CJ before I flew out and asked what his plans were and if he was coming out at all and about the things I wanted to work on. So he was like, okay, I'll come out, and so he can sort of prep as well for the cricket he's got coming up. And we just spoke about certain things I wanted to work on, and as a player you want somebody you can rely on to go through with these things, and CJ's experiences in the game is as good as anyone's. He's somebody I respect really well. He took me under his wing when I sort of first came into the England team, which I will always remember. You come into this sort of environment, I had someone like CJ who just sort of took me around with him, and we trained together, ate together, all of that stuff. So but yeah, there's a massive amount of respect for what he's achieved in the game, and yeah, that sort of player, he's obviously still a player, just want to make that clear, but that player-coach relationship we sort of had I actually really enjoyed it. There's not many times you get now as a cricketer when you can really have time to work on certain things and have a play around and stuff. You're always prepping for the next series, whereas that sort of passage that we had in that 10 days when we could really try a few things, it was actually really fun. And it just reminds you of being a kid again when you're trying different things. And but yeah, if he does go into coaching one day, which I think might be on his radar, I think he'll make an amazing coach. And he's someone I stay in touch with. Even after the first T20, he gave me a call and checked in, and it's little things like that when you have a relationship with somebody in that sense. And we spoke about how to then go about it the next day, what to change, little things like that. So to have somebody like that at the end of a phone who's also watching and keeping tabs on your game is really nice.
Just finally, in terms of your own plans, obviously everyone knows that there's a number of players missing from this white ball squad that's out here in the West Indies at the moment. Do you know roughly kind of where you sit in the England setup at the moment? Is your mindset get on the plane to India, get on the plane to the Champions Trophy next year? Is that, I'm guessing, your plan?
Yeah, that's where I want to be. Where I am right now, I don't know. All I can control is the performances that obviously I can put out there. So it's just you want opportunities to be able to do that. I haven't had much opportunity in 50 over cricket out of the ODIs we've played. I only had the one game which I had, but to sort of play these two T20s and take my opportunity in that sense, just that's all I can do. So I want to be on the plane to the Champions Trophy and playing in that 11, but I don't control that. I control what I do here. So my mindset's pretty much on the next game now.
Saqib, thank you very much.
Thank you.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.